As a black man, this is the greatest country to be as a black person on earth. You can't, where are you gonna be a citizen at anywhere else in the country? You ain't going to China.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Only place you can flourish as much as you can flourish as any minority is in
Right.
America. That's
Okay.
why they all come in here.
It's facts! It's facts! These are not facts. These facts are not facts.
Hey, how you doing? I'm new here. Are you Brandon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm just a UW student. I'm a senior and I'm getting a degree in sociology.
Okay.
So I'm studying my stuff on people, but I'm more interested in why you're here and what you plan to do.
Yeah, I just want to have an open dialogue. I think dialogue on campus doesn't happen or occur more often than not. Now, I'll say this. How many people do you see wearing a Trump hat on college campus?
Not many.
Right. So
Yeah.
why is that? It's a lot of people here that probably do support Trump, but they're afraid because they can't wear a hat, because they can't have a certain opinion,
Yeah.
or people will demonize them.
No,
I mean, people judge
agree,
me right
yeah.
now. They see a brother with a Trump hat on, and it's like,
Yeah.
I want that to not always be the case. I want people to be able to dialogue like we used to do when I went to college, and that wasn't
Right.
too long ago. And we can have a conversation. Man, I disagree with you, I agree with you. And that's cool. I was in the class called the Sexuality 101. We had a
Right.
transgender person coming in class.
Right.
Very balanced. The person was kind, gave us information. We received information. Hey, that's your life. At least I have a little more information and we go our separate ways.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they won't push it down your throat. You're anti-trans or something if you disagree with the person. So I want it to be more of a dialogue, and I want people to have a conversation, hear different
Okay.
thoughts, and then we move on from there.
Right. So you want people to be able to freely express themselves.
100%.
And you're noticing that, at least with the Seattle campus, that there's a connotation with that hat, right? Connotation with people supporting Trump that people are afraid of.
100%. I
And
walked
there's
here and the
a-
girl said F Trump when I was walking.
Right,
up
and
here.
we got individuals that are Trump supporters that like are afraid to express themselves.
True.
Right. So I don't agree with Trump. I don't agree with his values, but to the standpoint that people should be able to freely express themselves, I'm certain of. Right? People should be able to freely to express their point, because if I choose to live in a world where I don't want people to express themselves, in a way I'm discriminating against them. Right? In a way I'm oppressing them, because I have to be able to be educated. I have to be able to surround myself with different perspectives. And if I'm afraid of those perspectives, that means I'm bigoted. So I should be able to hear what you're saying. I should be able to hear why you agree with Trump. And I should be able to stand my ground. If I'm telling you to shut up, if I'm trying to silence you, that means I'm afraid. And I'm not afraid of you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I'm not here to silence you. And I want you to express why Trump is the option here.
Yeah. It's a multitude of reasons, right?
Right.
I look at Donald Trump when I first of all, I thought Donald Trump was a great guy before he ever ran for president.
Okay.
I mean, the guy was very popular, very successful. Everybody
Right,
loved him.
right.
You name the person that didn't love him. He voted. He donated to Hillary Clinton and
Right.
Democrats, and they loved him.
Yeah, I saw
For
his
the most part.
I saw his stuff on Oprah too, and she
Right.
seemed to
He
really
was
like
on
him
Oprah.
too.
Oprah loved him. She
Yeah.
encouraged him to run for president.
Yeah.
I mean, people may not know that. He helped Whoopi Goldberg at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy nobody had a real problem with him, so I didn't.
Right,
He runs for president. I was a Democrat.
right.
That's what I believed I was. I was a Democrat.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Texas.
Texas? What city?
Fort Worth.
Okay. I have
Fort Worth.
family in Texas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Fort Worth, Texas. I believed I was a Democrat because that's how I grew up. When you're
Right.
black in America, you're a Democrat.
Right,
before
right,
you
right.
figure out who you
that's,
are.
That's common. That's common.
So I didn't vote for Barack Obama the first time because I wasn't informed, and I said I'm not voting for the guy just because he's black. I wanted
Right.
to, but I
Right.
said I'm not going to do it.
And
Let
that's
me
fair,
be
yeah.
informed. The next time he goes around, I should have been more informed, but I wasn't. But I watched all the debates.
Right.
I said, let me do a step watch the debates, every debate
Yeah.
that he had with Mitt Romney.
Right.
Mitt Romney. And after watching the debates, I thought that Barack Obama did a better job. I thought he articulated himself very well.
Yeah.
I thought he was better than Mitt Romney. So
and
I
I'd
voted
agree.
for Barack
Yeah.
Obama.
Right.
Once he became president, I realized, oh shoot, this guy's causing more division than he's causing unity.
Yeah. How
His
did you see
policies
that?
are terrible.
Yeah.
Because of the rhetoric that he was pushing. And I was a cop at the time, and he
You were
was
a cop?
bashing police officers. I was a cop.
Oh, no
So
way.
he was bashing police officers, and I said,
Yeah.
long story short, I started to realize that I don't connect with them, and I'm a Christian.
Right.
And
so you're
all
religious as well.
all the values in Christianity don't align with what the Democrats are pushing. And I said,
Okay.
well, no, I don't think I'm a Democrat. Then the election come around. I said, let me give the Republicans a try because I never looked at a single Republican candidate.
Right. Right.
And then Ben Carson was one of the presidential candidates. I love Ben Carson. I think he's one of the most brilliant men that ever lived.
Okay.
I thought he'd be great as a president.
Yeah.
Well, mild-mannered, all the things you love in a presidential person. And he's very intelligent.
Right.
And then he dropped out and endorsed Trump. Now,
Right.
for me, I thought it was a joke, right? I thought Donald Trump was just plan, right?
Yeah.
He's this big billionaire. He's going to get on there. He's going to shake up the thing, and he's going to walk away.
Right.
But then he stayed in the race. Ben Carson endorsed him, and I said, let me go to one of his rallies. I wasn't a Trump supporter. I wasn't a conservative.
Right.
I said, let me go to a Trump rally. I went. Everybody was saying, he a racist. They throwing black people out because they black. Look at this white supremacy. They said all that. I said, let me go and see for myself.
Yeah.
Man, I went in there. It was a great time.
Okay.
Everybody was cool. Everybody was nice. Everybody was generous. I listened to what he said.
Yeah.
I didn't just hear the sound bites on the news. I listened to what he said. I said, I agree with securing the border. I agree with lowering taxes.
Okay.
I agree with a lot of things that he's saying. These other politicians are just talking out their rear end.
Right.
He's actually saying something that means something.
Yeah.
I like this guy. I'm gonna vote for him.
Yeah.
And I've been a conservative Trump supporter ever since. And the guy, when he was in office the last time, I thought he did a great job. America was safe. There was no wars.
Yeah.
The economy did well. If you own a business and he cut corporate taxes, that's great for business.
Right.
A lot of people got raises because of that. There's a lot of great things that happened when he was in office. COVID-19 screwed a lot of things up.
Right.
I think if he
And
had
for him
another
too.
chance,
For him too.
for everybody, man,
Yeah.
everybody was struggling. Even college, you paying for your college degree and they got you at home.
Right.
And, you know, so I felt like if he had a fair chance again, he would do incredible things for America and set us up for success. And that's why I want him to be the president.
Yeah.
Do I think he's a racist? No, that's insane to me.
Okay.
For somebody to think he's a racist.
Okay.
Let me tell you guys about what we have going on right now. Black Friday sale is still going on. 47% off store-wide. And we got some new product too. We have these hats right here. Stop on the hat. The Trump 2024 hat was crazy, insanely popular. We brought it back. I think we only got about 100 of them that we made. So if you want this hat, it's swaggy. I wore it at I forget what game I went to. I wore it. It's better than just the big crazy Trump hat. Because if you don't want to wear this thing, and you know what I'm saying, which I love it because I got it signed by Trump. You want to wear something a little more discreet and swaggy, we got you right here. Go down a little bit. All this stuff that you see as we scroll, the hat that I'm wearing right now, we just made these hats 40% off. You're going to get them 40% off. So keep scrolling down. 40% off everything that you see coming up. The Trump dance, 47% off. I said 40, it's 47% off. So go to the link in the description section. Go and get you a shirt today. And if anybody, I know we had a little bit of a delay on some of the victory shirts, but if anybody have any problems, go to customer service. We send out an email when we do have complicated things that happen, but it's rare. But anyway, go on and get you some merch today.
So how do you define what's the truth and what's not when you're looking at articles, when you're looking at the research?
I look at it like if you go to a traffic court, the preponderance of evidence, right? I mean, I look at which one is weighing more on the evidence to dictate whether I do something or not.
Right.
Because you can find an article right now that says Donald Trump is a racist, that says vaccine had no effect.
Yeah.
And you can go look at another article from a scientist that's just as valuable or credentialed as the other one, and they're gonna say something opposite.
Right.
So what you have to do is do your research and then make your own decision.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, so complicit bias, which you know, I'm sure you know what it is the concept that you are actively have a belief and you're looking for evidence to support that, right? And so you're going to be online and you're going to be looking at evidence to support that vaccine isn't going to be great for your kids.
Right, and I think what you should do is whatever opinion you have, you look at the opposite.
Right.
When I go online about my faith in God, I look at other religions that believe that Jesus is not the Son of God.
Right.
I look at that.
Yeah.
I want to hear what their arguments are. I already know what mine is.
Yeah.
That's how you figure this out. My wife is deeply involved in it. Candace Owens did a whole special on vaccine injuries.
Okay.
And so when you look at it, you say, okay, I'm gonna evaluate what they said. Because I grew up getting all the vaccines.
Yeah.
My first son got all the vaccines.
Right.
And then once I did the research, I realized this is not making sense.
Okay.
I don't want to vaccinate my children. I saw people, there is doctors that have come out, people that are very credentialed, that have come out and said that the COVID-19 vaccine was harmful to people. And then they kicked them offline.
Yeah.
And these people, the guy who was a part of the mRNA vaccine, I forget his name now, y'all can look it up. Robert Malone. He was a part of developing the mRNA vaccine.
Right.
And he said it was bad for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you go down the list. So, like they said with Joe Rogan, they said ivermectin was a horse dewormer. That's what they said.
Yeah.
And they lied because ivermectin in use in humans got a Nobel Peace Prize. So why would they lie to us about that? Why would they frame it like that
Yeah.
when they know the truth?
Yeah.
So that's why you can't just trust a source, because sometimes we all know this. You fund a source to say what you want them to say.
Right.
So you got to look at who's funding these sources.
Right.
Is Big Pharma forming these? Okay, yeah, of course they're going to lead you back to Big Pharma.
Right.
Is somebody in the natural space funding research?
Yeah.
And you have to be skeptical because you say, oh, they just want you to have natural products.
Right.
So you got to do both, man. You got to.
Right. So
what's your next question?
I agree. You absolutely have to look at your own ideals and find evidence for that, but you have to be able to face the opposite ideals and
Yeah.
be able to look at it and still come out and believe that's going to work out for you. So
True.
And also, this would be easier if there wasn't actual proof showing that during the civil rights movement they were using vaccination tests on communities of low-income Black people that did kill them. That is something that's totally real. And so I would have an easier argument with you. But at least back then, there is evidence to support that the government is.
There's always evidence that the
intentionally-
government, the Tuskegee experiment. Is anybody familiar with the Tuskegee experiment? Raise your hand if you're familiar with the Tuskegee experiment. The government literally gave a sample size of Black people syphilis.
And this is true. It was
And
taught
they
in my
watched
own
them
class.
die
Yeah.
over what,
Yeah.
40 years or so?
Yeah,
They watched them die. They told them that they were giving them a treatment for it, and they were actually giving them syphilis from the United States government. What did they give them, ma'am?
They had syphilis. These men.
No, they were getting
They
in some cases they were giving them syphilis.
No, they did
Yeah, they
not
were.
give them syphilis.
So
What were they doing? They just gave them placebo?
They were
Hey, no,
not
hey,
treating them.
they gave them
That was
placebo.
really terrible. They were not
They
treating
they
them,
gave them placebo?
and they didn't tell them. No, they did not tell them they had syphilis, and they didn't treat them. They just followed their illness to see what would
From
happen.
my research, some people were given syphilis.
No, they
Yeah.
did not give them syphilis.
If they didn't, hold on. If they didn't, wasn't that crappy from the government?
yeah, so
That the government did that
Yeah.
to people.
Government
So-
did not treat them.
right. So regardless, though, it doesn't
So they lied
matter
to them about syphilis.
because
They did not treat their symptoms,
That's right.
right.
and the government did it.
That's correct.
And you believe that the government is looking out for your best interest when they give you the vaccine. And they tell you that your kids should get vaccinated. You trust the government then, but you don't trust the government. What they already have proven that they
Yeah.
did to a segment of population in this country.
So why, if
I'm
you
just
already
saying.
show distrust in the government, why would you support Trump over Kamala?
Because Trump is the most person that's opposed to the government, more so than anybody else. He's not a part of the establishment. He wasn't a politician for 45 years.
Yeah.
He's not a part of that. I think he's the one that's bucking the system.
Yeah.
And that's why the people love him.
Yeah.
Because he's not towing the line for the government interest alone. He's working for the people.
Okay.
And that's why he's beloved.
So-
that's why he's winning in the polls right now.
Let's break down that Trump isn't racist. So
We know he's not racist.
You went to his convention, right?
We know
And-
he's not
and
racist.
you had his
Can
own.
we agree to that?
So the reason why I don't agree is because Donald Trump is in a position of power. Would you agree? He's in a position of systemic power where his words are
don't know.
valuable to people, to supporters like you. And so in my experience, I've had experiences with Trump supporters advocating for Trump that have racist
But is
stigma.
he racist?
If he's contributing to his community,
How is he contributing racism to them?
okay. His values and his ideas and what he said. So I just recently over the summer I watched
Hey,
his
can you calm down just a little bit? Just quiet
I
down.
watched his presidential debate against Joe Biden, right?
Right.
And the words that he was using to describe the illegal immigrants that were coming into the United States are words that are going to have connotations towards all immigrants in general.
Only
And
in
so,
your mind. He didn't say. He said illegals. All of us with common sense know what he's talking about.
But he literally
he's not talking about his wife. She's
he
an
said that
immigrant.
they would come and
His
that
wife
they would
is an
rape
immigrant.
and
He's
they
not
would
talking
steal.
about her, is he?
I don't know what type of immigrant your wife is. So-
Not my wife. His wife.
Okay.
Melania's an immigrant.
Okay.
Okay, so we know he's not talking about every immigrant that ever
Right,
lived.
so he's not not talking about
illegals.
every. So he might be referring to illegals, but the
is.
people that are down there in Texas, and I have family in Texas. Keep in mind, so I've experienced down there. The stigma that they have towards these immigrants are racist.
How? These people are coming from all over the world.
It doesn't.
How's that racist? They're coming from South America. They come from China. They come from Afghanistan. They come from Africa.
Yeah.
How's it racist?
Because
Illegal. You think it's racist.
Okay.
Because in your mind,
Right.
when you hear illegal, you
Yeah.
think it's just a race of people.
right,
People that do this,
Yeah.
they don't look at illegals based on race. They look at illegals based on status.
Yeah.
You're illegally in our country.
Yeah.
You broke the law.
I mean,
How is
all
that
of these
racist?
people are several colors of brown, which is just something to consider.
Who cares?
It's
Because he's white. Now you're racist against him because you projecting that because he's white, he
Yeah.
somehow don't like brown people.
no, I wouldn't
That's
say
a racial
that.
trope that you're
is-
throwing out there.
And if that's what I believe, that would be a racial trope because white people don't inherently hate
Well, maybe
anyone.
maybe you're being
right?
ignorant about it because it's not
Yeah.
fair for you to say that you assume
Yeah.
that he feels
Yeah.
this about Mexican people
Yeah.
or whoever else.
So what I'm claiming
Okay.
is that racism is a systemic issue,
Where?
and there's
Where? In the country?
in the country. Yes, and within the United States.
No, it's not.
Okay, why is that?
What can you do that I can't do?
So like there's evidence for job applications.
No.
with
What
different
job
names
can you
with
get
black
that I
names?
can't get?
That's hard to quantify because I'm not.
It's not systemic. It's nothing you can do that I can't do unless you believe you're better than me.
I don't believe I'm better than you.
Then what can
But
you
what,
do that
what
I
I'm
can't
telling
do?
you is that there's evidence to show that, like house lenders having a like. Sorry, I'm getting stuck up. Give me a sec to breathe.
I got you.
I believe that systemic racism exists because I've seen enough evidence that to be able to show that black people have a harder time unlocking a lot of things. They're vulnerable to being able to apply for a home, to apply for a job, and there's evidence that shows that
What
even
part of
based
that
on their
is
name.
their doing? What part of that is their doing?
So if you're an employer and you're looking for employees, right? And there's evidence with there was one recently with felonists, right? And so there was one where there was 4 different demographics. There was black people that had felonies, there's black people without them, white people, and then white people with felonies. And they were turning in papers without even their face, just their name.
Yeah, I've heard of that study.
Right.
And it showed bias in that study.
Right.
But
So
I don't
why-
think that's conducive, or not conducive, but I don't think that's the common theme of America.
The common
I don't-
theme of
I don't think
America,
that
even
any-
though that exists
I don't,
there.
Even though some things exist.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, are there racist
Yeah.
people in America? Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Right.
Or there's somebody racist on your campus? Probably yes.
Right.
But if you look at everybody that's out here, I
Yeah.
guarantee that 99.9% of these people are not racist. You probably couldn't find a racist person that's openly a racist person. You couldn't
Openly
find
a
them.
racist,
You couldn't-
openly a hateful person.
When
absolutely.
I say openly racist
Yeah.
or actively racist,
Right.
somebody in their mind, like, I don't like black people, and
Yeah.
they don't act on it, it's irrelevant.
It's hard because, like, let's say, like, I'm in my mind, I'm not openly racist, but I don't like black people. I host parties, I don't want to bring black people. I'm not inviting these people. I'm not directly saying that I don't like these people, but there's still a stigma within that. There's still a hateful thing that's in my mind, that internal piece of racism.
That's rare, though.
Right?
I mean, in America, that's
I
rare.
I wouldn't say that's rare. I wouldn't.
It's not systemic. There's no laws in place that are against black people or anybody.
That's right.
What
Yeah.
laws that are in place that are disenfranchising blacks? There are no laws. Some people are racist. We get it.
Yeah.
Some people are bigoted. We get it. Some people
Yeah.
are homophobic. I don't even think that's a real word, but
Yeah.
some people hate gay people.
Yeah.
Some people hate trans people. They hate them.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't disagree with them. They just hate them. There are people in this world that feel that way.
Yeah.
But that's not the norm. That's not America.
Right.
America is the most diverse country that you're ever going to live in.
Right.
And there's no other country that's more diverse than us. None.
Okay.
None. As a black man, this is the greatest country to be as a black person on earth. You can't. Where are you going to be a citizen at anywhere else in the country? You ain't going to China.
Yeah.
You're not going to go to Switzerland. You're not going to go to Sweden. You're not going to go to any of these white countries and be a citizen
Yeah.
as a black man.
Yeah.
Only place you can flourish as much as you can flourish as any minority is in
Right.
America. That's
Okay.
why they all come in here.
Yeah.
They're not coming here because it's systemically racist. They come
Yeah.
here because they have opportunities, and everybody has a fair opportunity, unless your boundaries are in your mind.
Okay.
Now, if I say, when I get on campus, the white people are going to treat me a certain way, I'm already conditioning that. And
You're
as soon as the
conditioning,
girl over there say, Trump is or whatever, I'm like, oh, she only doing it because I'm black. She don't want a black man with a hat. She want to. That's
Right.
that's in my mind. That's not
Okay.
reality.
Right, and that is that complicit bias.
And
that we were
so I'm
talking
gonna give you
earlier.
one more question because I
Okay.
want to make sure I get everybody. on the
Absolutely,
call.
I don't want to waste any of your time. The last question I want to ask you is, within Seattle, the homeless population in Seattle,
Right.
at least out of my anecdotal evidence, even when I go to Chinatown or even on my own home at 47th in Brooklyn, and I work at a church. I'm actually religious as well.
Are you? What you mean religious?
Christian?
You a Christian?
Christian,
Okay.
Episcopal.
Are you
yeah,
afraid to say you're a
Episcopal church.
Christian?
Yeah, because there's a stigma behind that, isn't there?
That's
right?
their fault, not yours.
Yeah, we can argue that later, right? But so when I'm helping out these people and I'm helping out this homeless community at my church, I'm recognizing that a lot of these people that are facing these crises are usually black people. And I want to know why that is. And I want to know why you think that would be.
Well, I don't know why the black people are the homeless or are dominating the homeless population in Seattle. I don't live here.
Yeah.
But what I can say is that it seems very interesting that the government isn't helping them.
Right.
Why is it that in a Democrat-run city,
Yeah.
mostly Democrat-run state,
Right.
that black people are suffering the most?
Right. Because in
That
the
to me-
state,
that
you
to
would
me
agree,
means-
right?
What that means to
Yeah.
me is that the government don't care about the people as
Yeah.
much as they say they do.
I absolutely
You wouldn't be
agree,
giving
yeah.
people free
Yeah.
syringes and autonomous zones
Yeah.
for them to do as much heroin as they want to if
Right.
you really cared about them. You wouldn't advocate them for them to lay in the streets. You
Yeah.
would get them the help they need. And I would argue that probably majority of them have a mental health component to it.
A mental health crisis.
Drug
No, absolutely.
and mental health
Yeah,
component.
no, I absolutely agree.
Instead of just
Yeah.
letting them do it and decriminalizing and all this other stuff, how about we help these people where they're needed? That's not the philosophy
Right.
of, I believe, the Democrats.
Okay,
That's more the philosophy
okay.
of the conservatives.
Okay, I absolutely agree.
Is that it? I got to get to other
That's
people.
all. Yep. I got